Well, hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be giving you my prediction and everything that you need to know before Hull City take on Huddersfield Town in the Yorkshire Derby, live at the MKM Stadium tomorrow, 3 PM, and it's the final game before the final international break of this year. It seems like we've had far too many, because we've had 3 at the start of this season, but luckily there is no more until March. It means we get a good run in before Christmas and then a good run in after Christmas without any of them interruptions. But there is some good news with international breaks, so stay tuned for all of that. So let's head straight into my prediction and preview for this game. So we'll start off with some injury news and some good and then bad news out of the injury camp. You'll notice that I've put 2 players on there that are actually back in contention for this game. Aaron Connolly, although he was named on the bench, wasn't able to participate in the game due to saying to Liam Rosina at the start of the game, my toe's feeling a bit sore, the one that he hurt earlier this season. So he would basically just put on the sidelines just to fill out the numbers of the players that were there, because obviously Dukan Sinek was also there. He's had a bit of a knee problem, and that's developed into something more serious. Apparently he felt his knee on the morning of the game after waking up in bed, and apparently it's some ligament damage, so he's going to be out for a little bit of time. But Jaden Philogene is back. We knew that it was going to be a 1-week injury. Was unsure whether he was going to make this game or not. Likelihood he was going to, and he actually has, as we've got the report from Hull City here. Liam Rosina has confirmed Jaden Philogene is back available for selection ahead of this weekend's game against Huddersfield Town in the Sky Bet Championship. The 21-year-old winger picked up a minor strain in training ahead of last week's trip to the Hawthorns to face West Bromwich Albion. However, Rosinia says the England under-21 Scarlet is recovered and is in time to face the Terrys. So not only Philogene is back, but also Aaron Connolly, as I have mentioned. In the absence department, of course, there's Dukan Sinek. And unfortunately, we have also seen Adama Traore pick up an injury in the last game. He is unavailable for contention in this game, along with Jason Lakilo, who was unable to make last week's game due to picking up an injury the days prior. And then obviously we still are without Regan Slater, although it is looking likely that he'll be back after this international break. Rosina is saying that he's hopefully going to be back for the Swansea game, so fingers crossed on that front. So we're going to be without 4 players, 4 sort of key players within the stakes of the club. Maybe Dukan Sinek's not had too good of a run, considering the fact that he's playing off an injury case from last season and he's just picked up a fresh one. He's really only had, I think, 1 game, which was like a 10-20 minute appearance at best in that Ipswich Town loss. So the other 3 players are sort of key players within Rosinia's squad at the moment. Obviously, Regan Slater having this injury for a little bit of time. But then Adama Traore and Jason Lakilo, before they picked up their injuries within the past week, they were in the first team, getting good involvement and making a positive contribution for both of them. So swings and roundabouts, but we move on. Obviously, we do have Jaden Philogene back, which is the big one. Let's move on to my starting 11, sponsored by Fanhub, of course. Well, not sponsored, but partnership with Fanhub. So Fanhub, fantastic app. Links down in the description. If you're a football fan, check in there. You can predict your team's lineup. It doesn't have to be Hull City. It can be any team at all. Also predict some games and stuff. You win free rewards. It's a belter. You get rewarded for being a fan for free. So if you want to, link down in the description, use my code HUL-IZR, and that means you'll skip the queue and you'll get rewarded with some free fan fee, which is sort of the currency on there. So we'll move into my starting 11. This is my predicted starting 11, not the official one, but it could be the official one. I was a little bit shaky on some parts, just considering the shocker that we saw against West Bromwich Albion. So I have gone for the same formation. Of course, Rosina likes this formation, and obviously it does twist and alter during the game, and that being Ryan Alsop regaining the spot in net. I don't think we'll see Matt Ingram start a game, certainly not until we see the sort of the tight run of games around Christmas and New Year. The back four remains unchanged with Louis Coyle, Alfie Jones, Sean McLaughlin and also Jacob Greaves. Although you can see possibly contention of maybe bringing in Ruben Vinagre or James Furlong in for Jacob Greaves. Maybe this would be a perfect game to bring James Furlong in for his Hull City debut. I don't think Rosenior is going to change up the defence considering the run of games before the West Bromwich Albion game. Of course, that maybe pulls it down, and the fact that the full-backs, were a bit of a dire case, and they have sort of been a bit of a dire case this season. We're unsure on that platform, but I have gone for an unchanged back four. Rosenior is likely to change it, and I will likely be wrong. Ahead of them, Jean-Michel Seri and also Tyler Morton, they keep their spots. And then just ahead of them, Ozan Tufan, although he had a stinker of a game against West Bromwich Albion. Liam Rosenior likes him, and I think that he needs the run out against Huddersfield Town, a lower Championship League side, to sort of bring it back up. We saw what he did against Sheffield Wednesday early on in the season, a hat-trick for Christ's sake. So I think this is probably the perfect game to get him a run out, and maybe even a few goals along the way. Jana Philogene, he's back in contention, and I can see him going straight back in the starting 11. If he doesn't get in the starting 11, there was something seriously wrong with Liam Rosenior. Scott Wine, the other man that will be in that sort of midfield three, and then just ahead of them, Liam Delap, the man I've just mentioned. So them two unchanged, and could we see a Scott Wine goal this game? Who knows? So we'll go into some other news for this game. So obviously you can see Uriel Selly there. You may be thinking, why have I got Selly up? He's not meant to be joining us until January at the earliest. And that's because he's won the league with the side that he's currently at. Some in the Peru League, Universito. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but they won their game 2-0, which meant they won the league very nicely. So Selly comes to us as a league champion, which is fantastic. Of course, that being on his loan deal off the back of a contract with Hull City to pick up enough international points. Let's break into some other news feeding on from yesterday's video. If you didn't see yesterday's video, go and check out. I cover all the news topics from this week. So sort of within since that video went live, our Sheffield Wednesday New Year's Day fixture at at Sheffield Wednesday is going to be on Sky Sports, and will kick off at 5:15. Nice lie-in for us on New Year's Day. Some Young Lions news, and we don't have one, we don't have two, but we have 3 Hull City players in the England under-21 side to represent the country in the upcoming international break against Serbia and North Ireland. And that being Tyler Morton, he gets his first one as a Hull City player. Jane Philogene and Liam Delap, the 2 players that you can definitely see there. And I think that front three of Cole Palmer, Liam Delap and Jane Philogene will be something extra special for the England under-21s. I announced on Liam Rosenior's contract situation yesterday, and the fact that the club have proposed a new contract to him. And it sounds like Liam Rosenior will be signing it, basically. The announcement is set to come soon. Rosenior seems positive about the deal, and it seems it's going to be quite a lengthy contract at that. So hopefully that one gets announced within the coming days. Of course, tomorrow is Remembrance Game for Hull City, and also Remembrance Day being the 11th of the 11th. So there will be a silence before the game, and also a little play on the trumpet of the last post. More international news, that is Mali have announced that Adama Traore, although he's injured, has been announced into their upcoming squad for 2 international games. I believe it's for the World Cup 2026 qualifiers. It seems like from their post on Twitter. So good luck, Adama Traore. Hopefully he's back fit for that game. I can't see he won't be if he's been picked. And then one other little bit of news, and that is that Hull City are going to be playing a Champions League side on Tuesday behind closed doors. And this is going to give some Hull City players needed game time to sort of, if they've not had much game time, get them game time, or if they just come back from injury, get them some game time. We probably can already guess the starting 11 that will go out for that game, just based off our bench and also unused players that we've signed recently or have just come out of injury, and that comes out from Liam Rosenior via a press conference. So that is all good. We've seen that before through Liam Rosenior. Lovely jubbly. Moving on to the last meetings between both sides. So obviously, we don't need to look at the one in October because it was a repeat of the one from last season when we went to Huddersfield and we lost 2-0. We've lost 2-0 at Huddersfield's ground 2 years in a row. But at the MKM Stadium, it was a different story, albeit a last-minute goal from Oscar Estupiñán, but it was a 1-1 draw. We picked up 1 point there. Can we pick up 3 tomorrow? The table can tell a completely different story. Hull City sit 9th, following the back of the loss against West Bromwich Albion last weekend. Huddersfield sit all the way down in 21st. There is a total of 8 points separating the two sides. Form kind of tells us all we need to know there, with Huddersfield only losing 1 game in the last 5, a lot of them being draws. Hull City, I think it's 2 or 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss within the last 5. Player to watch out for, pardon me, for Huddersfield, and that is Helik. The centre-back, the Polish centre-back, has been high-flying this season. 4 goals already from centre-back. Mental. Huddersfield's top goal scorer at the moment, and he has been playing fantastically off the bat of that. A lot of air duels, a lot of defensive action, and obviously a lot of goals for him. So certainly a player to watch out for, and he's one of the Huddersfield players that are playing good that aren't injured, because obviously they do have quite a lot of injuries, which seems to be a common case whenever we play Huddersfield. So my score prediction, a 3-1 win for Hull City. I think the job will be done following the back of the disappointing performance at West Brom last week. So I think Hull City will pick up a nice win, albeit a little bit shaky, obviously, picking up the 1 goal through Huddersfield. So the goal scorers for the Tigers, I think Liam Delap will get on the score sheet, followed up by Jana Philogene, partnership of the Young Lions, and then a goal for Ozan Tufan. So I think that Tufan will become Hull City's top scorer for this season, overtaking Aaron Connolly. Obviously, Aaron Connolly could score if he comes off the bench, or even if he starts. Who knows ahead of this game? So I'll leave you with the picture of Adrian Ilajali there. A lovely picture of that man. So let me know down in the comments what your prediction is ahead of this game. Let me know any other information you'd like to let me know down there. Much appreciated. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any more Hull City news and content. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.